In this video, we're going to go over all the aspects of applying for the GIST TechEye competition. We're going to touch on four major points: registration, login, password reset, and the application itself. To begin with, let's go to the website. In order to apply, you must go to gistnetwork.org. The first thing you need to do is register if you haven't already. You can see the registration link up in the top right. Click on that registration link. Here, you'll fill out your name, username, email address, create a password, and let us know how you heard about GIST. Once you're done with that, you should be able to click on Create a New Account, assuming you've clicked on the I'm Not a Robot button. Once you've created an account, an email will be sent to the email address that you created the account under. This is to confirm that the email address is accurate. You should find that in your inbox within the next few minutes after creating the new account. It might be in your junk or spam mail, so check there. If for some reason you do not receive an email, please send an email to the email address listed in the description of this video. We can see what we can do to help you out. So once you've registered and confirmed by email your account, we'll go back to the beginning, or to the landing page. So I've already created an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. You must log in before you apply. So I'll go ahead and fill in a login. Okay, and my password. All right, and now I'm going to log in. So now I'm logged in. You can see up here that it says My Profile and Log Out. That's how you know you're logged into your account. Now, if for some reason, we'll go back. We'll actually log out real quick, and I'll log in. If for some reason you've forgotten your password, click on the Request New Password link. Here you'll enter your email address and ask for an email new password. An email will be sent to you that will give you instructions on resetting your email your password for your account. It might end up in your junk or spam mail, so keep an eye out there. Again, if you do not receive an email, please send an email to us at the email address listed below in the description. We'll see what we can do to help you out. All right, I'm going to go back to log in and log into my account. Ooh. All right, I've logged into my account. It's taken me to my profile page, but if it does that, you can always get back to the main page by clicking on the GIST logo at the top. All right, we're signed in. It says I can go to my profile or log out, so we know we're signed in. I'm ready to apply for the GIST TechEye competition. The easiest way is to click on the banner at the top that says click here to apply. This is the main page for the competition. In it, you'll see instructions on how to apply. We'll cover most of these aspects in this video, but it'd be good to read over it just one more time to make sure that you know everything you need to know before applying. One thing I'll point out is important on this page are these links on the right side. Among these links, you'll find the competition's full announcement, the different economies that are eligible, materials and translation, and one of the most important links, the FAQ and advice link. In the FAQ and advice link, you'll find a page that has a lot of questions and answers, as well as webinars on how to apply. It's very useful, and I advise you to go to it before, if you have any questions. If you don't see an answer to a question you may have, please feel free to email this email. It's going to be listed in the description, but again, it's techeye@gistnetwork.org. All right, so we've read the instructions and we're ready to apply. You click here to apply, and it'll take you to the application form. Most of the information, some of the information I should say, is already filled out. It's being pulled from my profile, but I have to fill out a lot of other fields in order to save my application. At this point, I'll point out real quickly, any field that has a red asterisk is something that needs to be filled in to save. You will need to have, in order to save your application, you'll need to have some sort of text or value entered into that field. So we'll go through this and I'll point out ways you can fill in those fields. So my name and email address are already there. I'm going to select a country. So let's say I'm from Belize. And then my country of residency, we'll do Antarctica. Obviously, you could have the the same country of residence and citizenship. That's fine. This is just for people who might be living in another country at this current time, but have a citizenship in one of the eligible countries. So I filled out my country. Now gender, I can choose male, female, and do not disclose. I'll choose male. Age, select your age. Next, you're asked if you have a valid passport. This is just informational for us so that we know who will need additional time to get their passport if they make it to the finals. I have a passport, so I'm clicking yes. Are you able to read, write, and listen in English? This is one of the requirements in order to apply to the competition. You must be able to read, write, or listen in English. I do, so I'll click yes. Next, we're on to the startup information. So here you'll enter your organization or company name, and then the project name, product, or service. It's possible these could be the same names, which is fine. Since this is a test application, I'm just going to write in test and test. Overall sector, I'll choose education. Number of employees. If you don't have any employees, you can select 0, or you can enter 0. Just type in a numerical value. If, for example, I had 3 employees, I can just change that to 3. Again, you have to fill in these fields in order to save your application. Next up is background information. These questions and fields are not required, but they help us give us an understanding of where you're coming from. If you've participated in the past in GIST programs, how you heard about it, and if we can provide local media about information about your participation in the competition. Moving on, we go into the product details. You'll need to decide whether you're an idea or startup stage. Information on what an idea and startup are listed on the FAQ page as well as the competition announcement. I direct you to those 2 links that were on the right side of the competition landing page. They'll help you figure out whether or not you're a startup or an idea. Next is your elevator pitch. This should be a short 1 or 2 sentence description of your idea. It's going to be used in the public voting round should you make it there. I'm just going to put in some text so that we have something there. Next is the significance in science and technical innovation questions. So please briefly describe the scale and scope of the problem that you're seeking to address. This is a really important aspect of your application. It's important for you to describe why your solution solves the problem and what that problem is. Next is to describe the science and technology that you're using behind the project. Then your current stage of development, whether you've developed an MVP or whether it's just in the idea stage. Next is how your innovation is novel compared to competitor solutions in the market. Obviously, you want to point out why you're different from what's currently available. And then finally, what commercialization stage you're in. Now I'm going to stop here real quick and point out that all these fields are required to have something in them in order for you to save your application. Now you don't have to have answers to all these questions right away. You can put in filler text. So I'm going to put in test. The reason why I'm doing this is that by having the text filled in for those required fields, I can then save my application and come back at a later date to update it with the correct information. Hopefully you'll have more information than just what I put in here as placeholder text, but you can put in test or text until you are ready to fill in the complete answers to the questions. Next to the business strategy questions. How will your innovation or startup make money? This is a really important question, and a question that will often be asked during the finals if you make it to that round. So consider how you would be making money. Next, the capability and background of your team members and advisors. If you don't have any team members, just describe who you are looking to recruit. If you need someone in the marketing sector or someone who has marketing capabilities, list that and let us know what background you're looking for and who you want to bring on your team. What is your current near-term projected traction in the market? A lot of people ask if they need market research. No, you don't need market research for this application, but just give us an idea of the market that's out there and how you expect to get traction in it. And a final question is, how would you use the GIST-TechEye Capital Seed Prize to advance your project? So again, as with the other questions, these are all required. So I'm going to put in some filler text so that you can see how to save your application. Again, if you don't have any text into these fields, you won't be able to save your application. Next up is the video. The video has to be 90 seconds or shorter, and it has to be in English or have English subtitles. There's two ways you can upload a video. One is, which currently is the default setting, is to paste a URL of your video. So this is something that you might have put on YouTube. So you can see here is an example of a YouTube link. And in fact, I can just click on that, and that'll be my placeholder so I can save the application. But if you did that, you'd want to come back before the deadline and put in your actual video. Otherwise, your application might be disqualified because the video actually is not your pitch video. So at this point, if you wanted to save, you can finish the application and save. But if you want to just upload a video to the application, which is another option, you can select Video Upload. At this point, you can click Browse, and you'll see what comes up are the files on my computer, and I can therefore go into any of these files and click on the video that I want, and then click on Open. I'm not going to do that for this one because I don't have a video ready. For the purposes of this test, I'll just do the URL and use that URL. Next, you confirm that you've read the program announcement and accept the terms and conditions of the competition. And finally, that you confirm that the application is original work, that it's your own and not someone else's. As an example, I'm going to delete one of the fields. So I deleted how I would the placeholders I had for how I would use the TechEye prize funds. Now if I go down here and save, you'll notice a red box comes up at the top and tells me I haven't filled out that portion of the application, and I must fill out that portion in order to save my application. If I was to exit out of this window at this point in time, my application and none of the information I entered in would be saved. I'd have to re-enter all the information. So a way to avoid that is to just put some placeholder text in here like we've been doing. So in order to save it, if I put, a test or text to hold the place, it'll then allow me to save it. So now all my fields are filled out. At this point in time, I'd be able to save it. So let's go ahead and do that. So at this point in time, the website is compiling all my answers to the questions that I've submitted to the application and will provide me with a preview of what the application looks like. So you can see now that I've entered all the fields, I get a green box that says that my entry has been created and saved in the system. That's good. That means I can come back at any time and edit the application, adding anything that I need to before the deadline. If I scroll down, I can see the responses to the questions I have entered and the video. If I wanted to edit anything at this point in time, I can click on Edit, and you'll notice it takes me back to my application. At this point, I can say, actually, I only have 0 employees, and then scroll down to the bottom of the application and save. Once again, it's compiling all of my responses, and you can see a green box has come up and says that my entry has been saved, has been updated. That means that it's been saved. Now, if I wanted to come back to my application at a later date, which you're able to do up until the deadline, you would go ahead and you could come to the justnetwork.org page and then log in. If I was to log in, I would click on the login and log in with my information. But to save time, we're just going to assume that I'm newly logged back into my application or into my account. At this point in time, I can go ahead and click here to apply now, which will take me to the landing page of the competition. Scroll down and click here to apply. You'll notice it takes me back to my application. I can see again all the things that I've entered in for the fields, and I can also go ahead and edit at this point in time. Additionally, if you log in, we'll go back to the main page. You click on My Profile. You'll see here, and I'll circle it, My Entry. That'll also take you to your application. So let's go ahead and close that and click on My Entry. And you'll see I have a JustTechEye application. At this time, I can view or edit it. I'll click on View. And you can see it takes me back to the application and shows me everything I filled in. And I can go ahead and edit at that point in time. So again, it's important to fill out some type of text in all the required fields in order to save your application. Otherwise, you won't be able to save it. Again, you don't need to fill out the full extent of the answers that you might want to do. You can always just fill in some draft text and then come back and fill it out better. So, for example, here, maybe I'll say, we have a really great team with a marketing background. Now, obviously, I'd probably want to put more information into this field so that the reviewers of the application get a really good idea of who exactly my team is. But if I just wanted to fill in this and then come back at a later time to fill in additional information, I can do that. Since I have text in that field, I just go back down and save it like I've saved the other links or the other application. Again, you can see it gives me a green box saying that it's been updated, and I can look down and I can see there's my updated text. We'll go back into the edit and mention another aspect that will be in the description below the video. All these questions, the scientific and technical questions, as well as the business strategy questions, will be linked to in a PDF form in the description below the video. So you can read through those questions and come up with answers ahead of time before you even go on and apply. So that's pretty much the application process in applying for the JustTechEye competition. I'll go ahead and tell you once again that important links will be placed below below this video, so you can look through it if you need to. And if you have any questions, please email, the email address that's listed in the description. It's also listed here once again, techeye@gistnetwork.org, and we're happy to answer any questions you might have about the competition. I'll point out the FAQ page real quick. Here you can see we have a webinar for If Just Tech Eye is for Me, and we walk through how to apply, similar to this video, but we'll also have some extra videos coming up over time. Important topics are listed, so you might want to find some important, there might be some important aspect that you might want to look at. And with that, we'll wrap up this video. We've gone over how to register, we've gone over how to log in, and we've gone over how to reset your password if needed. Then we walk through the application. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email the application, the email address below, and we'll happily answer your question. Thanks.